What's up, everyone, and welcome back to some more max difficulty oxygen not included. Cycle 581, and we've finished our oxygen setup here. Well, for the most part. I mean, you can see we've got the water flowing in from all this stuff here. We've got our cooling loop going. Actually, how cool is it? Ooh, it's nice and cool. Look at that. But what is the temperature of the oxygen in here? 33, so it's kind of not all the same. Now, this setup is kind of funky the way I did it because, well, I guess it's fine. It fills this one up first, then this one, then this one. Supposedly, I don't know why this one has oxygen in it. But yeah, so it's going to fill all these three vertical tanks up first with oxygen. And then from there, those outputs go and fill up the rest of the tanks. Now, I don't currently have that completed all the way, but we're almost there. And then, yeah, so essentially these three tanks are going to be sort of like three different lines I can send to wherever. So I've got one right now going. This is the primary one. So this tank is always going to be full. At least, well, it's going to be full before this middle one, but it's going to get split between this first one and this last one. But we should have plenty of oxygen, so I don't think it's going to matter. Let's go ahead and unpause it. But yeah, so we've only got one line here, and well, we're only utilizing one line so far, and it's not quite built, so I haven't gotten rid of this spam over here, but we're working on it. Whoops. So yeah, the oxygen is all completed there. We're pretty much completed. And yeah, it's nice and cool. So as for these sensors, I've got these two for the hydrogen pump set at 1100 grams, and then the ones for the oxygen are set at 900. So the hydrogen should always have a little more pressure than the oxygen. And that's going to be the case until this fully backs up, at which point these will just hit max pressure. But yeah, we've got the cooling line. It's nice and cool. Everything is functioning properly, which is awesome. Yeah, no hiccups in the oxygen system. Really happy. So we're just waiting for the pipe here to get built, and then we'll have nice, cool, fresh oxygen sent to our base. We can get rid of this thing here, and I was thinking maybe I could start like redoing some of this base. You can see I've kind of got a little like better setup for my duplicates here, because jobs are going to be getting kind of extreme as far as the morale requirements go, so I'm going to need better decor. Now, let's see, when does this update drop? In a couple days, actually, like 6 days or something. The update drops with the job changes and all that, so a lot of this is going to change and have to kind of be reconfigured, I guess. One thing I'm curious of, because the new system, the duplicates actually gain experience when they're like digging or building or whatever, and then you can spend that experience on points. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to games that duplicates have already done all this stuff. So are they going to start with 0 experience, or is their experience, like their current level of stuff, going to give them experience? I don't know. Like, we go to our skills here, we can see that Liam here has 17 construction. Like, is he gonna get experience based on the level of his attributes here? Because if they start out with 0 experience, that would kind of suck. But not the end of the world, I guess. I don't know. It kind of would be, actually, because I wouldn't be able to put anybody into higher positions right away. So I wouldn't have like anybody that could dig abyssite for anything. I'd have to like go dig stuff out and like build stuff over and over to get them experience, which I don't want to have to do. So hopefully it's not that. All right, so what we've got going on right here is I've got, this was actually suggested by a viewer, and I don't remember. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, I can't find it. I probably should have done that before recording, but I can't find the person who recommended it. But thank you for recommending it if you're watching. But they recommended putting like a huge decor bomb underneath the bedrooms or above the bedrooms, using like, well, I don't know, any decor item really, and then window tiles, so it can just the decor can basically shine through. So what I'm going to do, right now I've got plants, but you can see that, well, you can't see, but the plants don't actually reach. Well, let's see, we can look over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the planters here reach 4 tiles, and then we go over one more, you can see, oh wait, 5 tiles? Yeah, okay, so you can see the plant light up when I move it. Oh, it's dying, so. But so they reach 5 tiles, and if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't quite make it to the ground level, and I'm pretty sure duplicants sleeping in a bed are considered on the ground level. I'm not 100% sure, but it's better safe than sorry. Plus, what I'm going to replace these with actually gives more decor anyway, which is going to be these metal blocks made of gold. Now, it's going to take a lot of gold, but I'm just essentially going to line this entire thing with gold sculptures, and it's just going to be a humongous decor bomb whenever they're sleeping, which is awesome. And then obviously they're going to have, you know, plants and pictures in their rooms and whatnot. Okay, so what do I actually like want to start on? I kind of want to go to the surface and get me some research stuff going, because I'm pretty sure I need that. You know what? Let's start digging out an area for, well, actually, how much steel do we have? Where is steel? I always forget. There it is. 6.7 tons. So that might be enough. How much? 500. Okay. How much is a tile? 100. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to build like a rocket. You know what? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Okay. So something like this, just to kind of get it done. That'll take a while, but maybe I should run a transit tube up here, honestly. This is gonna take some time, but I'm lazy. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna let the dupes run on the ladders. You know what? They need it, okay? Let's see. Is there anything down here that needs to be addressed? This still isn't going because I've got to pump out all this freaking pressure. Hey, we've pumped, let's see. We've pumped about, I don't remember how much was it. Was it like 400,000 or 500,000? So we pumped about 500,000 grams, I think. Is all. Just 1 million to go. No big deal. All right, so one thing that I didn't address, I guess, is how this system works. I may have discussed it previously, but so yeah, we cool down the steam and then it loops back around. And then we've got a bridge over here connecting to this pump, or this line, which pumps the water from the geyser. So this bridge is giving this line priority here. So we're gonna empty the geyser room before this polluted water can actually flow into the sieve. At least that's what should be happening. That way we don't get this geyser flow, because this polluted water line is probably never ever going to run out unless we, you know, put more strain on it. So we want to definitely empty this, otherwise it's, you know, it's never going to get used. So we definitely want to use that, and then once this is empty, the polluted water line will start to move and cool down the steam again. Because once the polluted water gets too hot, it's no longer going to condense the steam. And then this room will eventually empty, right? And then the polluted water line will run, it'll condense the steam, and then the system will repeat. So it's pretty nice the way that worked out. Okay, we've got oxygen flowing. Nice 29-degree oxygen pumping into our base here. It's pretty good, pretty good. One thing I need to do is put some more vents. So let's pop one here. And then I don't really know where else I should pop one right now. I mean, we should have one like over here somewhere, definitely. So maybe we just go like this. I mean, we could just pop it down here, but I kind of want it. We're just gonna run it like this. There we go. And maybe we can put some like airflow tiles in the ground here and allow for the oxygen to kind of disperse a little bit better. So yeah, we can actually delete this system now. But do I want to is the question. I mean, I definitely want to get rid of it, but it is providing me with a little bit of power. You know what? This will be exclusively for my suits. Once I get these vents set up, then we'll just delete this line here, and this will be oxygen exclusively for my Atmos suits, and then my my jet suits. Oh, that's right. We have our polypress here. See, carbon dioxide, much more manageable levels. I'm actually going to lower this to like 1800. I want very little carbon dioxide in here. That way we have a big of a buffer size before this thing shuts off again. Okay, so let's see. We want to add some automation to this here. Polypress. We don't want it getting too hot in this room. So I think I'm going to put it right there. And then if the water gets too hot, the polypress will shut off. So we're kind of deleting this carbon dioxide with the carbon skimmer, so I don't care if the carbon dioxide really gets too hot. But the polluted water, I don't want it turning into steam and then causing a whole bunch of other issues. So we got to worry about that. Output pipe full. Yeah, we're not using any of this polluted water because, yeah, this thing, again, big problems. I mean, we could run this, but one problem that I think this system is actually having is I think it's generating more steam than the pump can output. So I think what I need to do is change the automation here to actually keep this. It needs to stay off unless the pressure is also below a certain point or within a threshold. You know what we should have? We should have a shutoff plus a valve. And the valve should only let a certain amount of water in at a time, and the shutoff should be connected to the Atmos sensor as well. Maybe on like a buffer. That way it actually stays open for a little bit, even once the pressure goes above. That way it's not clicking on and off and on and off area. But you know what? That's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... What am I going to do? I'm going to do something crazy. So we're going to go down here. So let's just go... We don't need these doors. We can use these doors. 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that deodorizer. And then we'll just close this area off. And then we'll just like dig our way down into here and then correct that stuff. Yeah, we're going to lose a little bit of steam out here and might cause a couple issues, but I think it'll be fine. And we'll be able to correct this system here. So this shut off here needs to be a valve, which limits the amount of water. And then I don't even think we need this hydro sensor, to be honest. Let's see. We just need to pump water in based on the pressure. Okay. Full of hydrogen, full of oxygen. Okay, problem is, so here's the problem that I was thinking was going to happen. We're not actually using this hydrogen for anything. So, what do I do with it? We're going to need to just slap a hydrogen generator down. That's kind of the only thing we can do, really. But where do we stick the hydrogen generator? So we have to have a hydrogen generator here to use up some of the hydrogen, because we're not really using it any other way, and we don't have any way to like turn it into a liquid right now, so we can't use it that way. We need to go to space is essentially what's going on here. We need to go to space. It would be so easy just to stick a hydrogen generator right here, but we're gonna have to stick it somewhere else. That's what she said. You know what? I think I'm just gonna plop it right here. Alright, let's not forget about not only this. So if it's below 60, then you can run like this and then over, pow, just like that. Oh, we're gonna need a battery as well. Shoot. What have I done? You know what? Right there is fine. Oh. Oh. Right there is fine. Heavy watt. Automation. Load, game. Hurry up, load. Automation. Bam. There we go. And we're gonna have that one run like very frequently. You know what we should have done? Another thing that I'm now wishing I had done is add a gas sensor on this line in between these tanks, and then you know what, we could still do it. Element sensor here, and then I'm gonna run the automation wire over to. Okay, so essentially all we need is a filter gate right here, I believe. And then if there's hydrogen on this pipe, it will send a positive signal, right? And if it's a positive signal for, hold on, No, this is correct. But once the positive signal gets sent, it will stay off because of the filter for X amount of seconds, whatever I set that to. That way, any hydrogen just passing by here into the tanks will not trigger this and have this run. So it has to actually be hydrogen sitting in the pipe for X amount of duration before the hydrogen generator runs. And that should fix the overpressurization issue with the hydrogen here. Because we're going to be using the oxygen, right? And then any hydrogen that gets output here is just going to be deleted, which is essentially what I didn't want happening. But we managed to make it happen, Captain. All right. Let's set these lower. So this one is currently running the natural gas. I'm going to set it down to like 60%. So it's going to run from like 50 to 60, let's say. Actually, I kind of want... well, if it starts backing up, we'll increase that. And then the petroleum generators, I want to run from like 25 to 40. There we go. And then the hydrogen generator will have run from like... Oh, I guess we're not hooking it up to a battery, so I don't even need this battery here. But essentially, we just want room in the batteries for the hydrogen generator to generate power, essentially. Okay, finish that stuff, and then deconstruct that. We're going to rearrange all this stuff. So, you know, let's just deconstruct all this automation. How about that? Send this up over here. Okay, so shut off made out of steel. Bam, like that. And we have a valve right here. Bam, like that. And it goes dunk, dunk, dunk. Okay, and then we need an Atmos sensor right there. Bam. Alright, so this Atmos sensor is going to turn on the pump when it's over a pressure. And then whenever it's not a certain pressure, the valve is going to turn on. So whenever it's not pumping steam, it's going to be pumping water. There we go. Let's make sure to sweep all this stuff up as well. All right. That was a pretty simple redesign, actually. I thought it was going to be a little more complicated because I didn't think I'd have enough space in here, but it turned out I didn't need the hydro sensor or the other sensor, whatever it was. Let's make sure all this stuff gets handled like now, though, because I want that to get pumping the air out. So we want this filter to be set at probably like 20 seconds. So if there's hydrogen sitting in this pipe for 20 seconds, then the hydrogen generator will start to run until there is no longer hydrogen in that pipe. Oh yeah, look at that oxygen. That's what we want to see. It's not too hot either. It could be a bit cooler, but I'll take it. But this line should not be running over this one. Why is the polluted water line getting priority? Like, this bridge should give priority to this main pipe, but for some reason it doesn't look like it is. Why is the polluted water line getting priority? Hold on, let me delete this bridge, see what's going on here, because something ain't right. We can see that water is indeed moving, so let's try putting the bridge back now. I don't, maybe there was just something kind of buggy with the bridge or something. All right, so we can kind of turn all our effort into another project here, and I'm thinking it's going to be a rocket pad right around here. We're going to do our first legitimate rocket launch. I've only ever launched rockets in debug, so this will be the first one that I've done in a actual legitimate game, not using the debug tools. So I'm a bit excited. Ooh, see, this is where I would really like jet suits, because then I wouldn't have to like build a bunch of ladders everywhere. See, now I'm getting sidetracked. I'm like, okay, we need to set up a petroleum factory. That way we have petrol for our jet suits, and then we can just zip around all over the place. We just need more petrol, is all. We need more petrol, so maybe I do set up the petrol factory. See, I wanted to avoid using ladders up here. All right, I'm gonna delay rockets even more. I'm gonna build the petrol factory. That way I can have jet suits going. It only makes sense, right? You should have jet suits before you have a rocket. That's just, well, that just makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this is actually draining. We can't generate petrol fast enough. We're cooling this polypress down so fast that it can just run constantly. So I'm gonna turn it off for now, man. I suppose if we had a different power source, like maybe we should run this off a battery. Let me do this. I'm gonna actually add a battery to this hydro sensor as well. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna say OR gate. So yeah, I'll just pop it there and we'll say if the battery triggers it or this triggers it, then we can go in here. That way, if the hydrogen's backed up, I'll run this, or if the battery's at a certain point, I'll also run it. And I think what I'll do is I'll just set it to like 85 or something. I'll set it to shut off when the battery hits 85. That way we still have a little wiggle room as far as using hydrogen up. But I don't think we're going to have that issue. In fact, I think we're going to end up using all of this hydrogen by doing that. So perhaps I need to set this at a mid-tier. Set the petroleum generators at a very low number, like, I don't know, 10 to 30. So when the batteries hit 30%, the petroleum generators will shut off. Natural gas will be at the highest, so it'll be like 70 to 80 or whatever. And then the hydrogen generator will be in the middle at like 40 to 60 or something like that. And that way we're actually consistently using hydrogen and saving petroleum for potential plastic, because I want to continue to generate more and more plastic. I want to have like transit tubes everywhere and things. So we're going to need a lot of plastic for that. Also plastic ladders and stuff. A lot of plastic. All right, so next episode, I'm going to have all of this planned out. At least I'll know what I'm going to do. At this point, I'm kind of at a standstill. I don't really know what I'm doing. So I need to go in the debug and rearrange my old petrol factory, which I don't have anymore. I lost it when I upgraded to Windows 10 because the only save that I backed up was this colony. I didn't save up any of my build saves, so I'll have to rebuild the petrol factory, but I'm pretty sure I remember how to do it. I also have the video I can refer to. So yeah, we'll have the general idea for this planned out, and hopefully they will have started construction at least. You know what? I can at least build this room here, and we can start pumping it out that way, because it's going to take a while to pump all this out. Just start kind of making the vacuum. But yeah, I'm probably going to just plan out the petrol factory in debug, get all that settled, and then we'll kind of, you know, plan it out over here, and then hopefully they'll be building it by the next episode, at least starting on it, and I can explain everything as we go, and then we can get petrol going, jet suits going, rockets going, and everything should be good. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how I can improve, or any questions or suggestions or anything like that. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.